I was lying in bed with John when he asked me to perform oral on him. I had recently gotten a lip injection procedure done and told him my lips hurt, and I didn't want to. He then pushed my head down onto his and didn't let go until I put my mouth around his and performed oral. My lips hurt significantly, and the filler migrated around my face because of this incident. All right, I'm going to preface that these things are allegedly, these are what she was accused of, a lot of it. This is also, I believe, the protective order. So we're going to go through some of this stuff. Immediate order sought as shown by the detailed facts alleged in the affidavit attached to this application and incorrupted herein by this reference for all purposes. There is a clear and present danger of family violence, indecent and or stalking if a temporary ex parte protective order is not granted. Applicant therefore requests that the court immediately and without hearing issue a temporary ex parte protection order prohibiting respondent from the following acts until a hearing can be held. After notice and hearing, applicant requests that the court enter a protective order effective for a period of time allowed under Texas Family Code section 85.025 and or Texas Code of Criminal Procedure chapter 7B007. So basically, chat, they're trying to get a protective order before the court even happens because they are afraid that Tectone is going to stalk and or continue to act in violence, indecent, and or stalking. This is why Tectone didn't stream, by the way, chat. It's because this happened. This got approved, and Tectone can't shut the fuck up about Pink Chew, so he stopped streaming, probably by his lawyers telling him, hey, you should shut the fuck up and stop streaming because you don't know how to stop. You have caused yourself so much fucking problems. The applicant further asked the court to suspend the respondent's license to carry a handgun issued to respondent under section 411.177 government code, prohibit the respondent from possessing a firearm, require respondent to transfer any firearms in his possession immediately to an appropriate law enforcement agency, and order said agency to maintain the firearms in protective custody for the duration of the protective order. So that means that they are trying to get, and Pink Chew's lawyer is asking, Tectone is such a threat that not only do we seek that he has a restraining order, we want a protective order because we believe Tectone is a threat, and with him with a firearm, that he might go after Pink or any of Pink's friends or family. My name is blank, and I'm the resident of Williamson County. I'm over 18 years of age, of sound mind, and capable of making this declaration. This is going to be Pink Chew. The facts stated herein and are within my personal knowledge and are true and correct. I wish to file a protective order on behalf of myself. I wish to file this order against John Robertson, resident of blank, and respondent in this case. An incident occurred in blank county. The relationship between the respondent and myself is previously dated. We have lived together in the past from December 2022 to July 2024. We have 0 children from our relationship. Obviously not, because they never had. I have 0 children from a previous relationship. The respondent, John Robertson, committed the following acts constituting physical violence. Date of violence incident was May 28th or 29th, 2024. Location of incident, blank, Austin, Texas. Usually, chat, when someone or abuses someone, especially with girl, would probably try to get out of the relationship as fast as possible, not continuously date them and want to marry them. Pink Chew did that by May 28th or 29th. This occurred, and then they broke up in July. So it was just a 3 or 4 months, and then they finally broke up. She left him, by the way. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on or around January 22nd, 2025. Were criminal charges filed? No. Was there a weapon involved? No. Were there children present? Not available. Did you require medical treatment? Yes. Doctor told me to get the filler dissolved. So she went to the doctor and told her that she has to get the filler dissolved. Had respondent been drinking or using? No, because he doesn't take his schizophrenia medication. Did I require medical treatment? Yes. If yes, describe. I had to go to the doctor to get the filler dissolved. Okay, so she required medical treatment. She had to go to the doctor. The date of incident was 2024. The location of incident was at this house. I was crying by the side of my bathtub, and John grabbed my head, shoved it towards his closed, and said that my crying turned him on. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on or around January 22nd, 2025. So I would say the one thing that she definitely did wrong here is she should have went to the police sooner, but she did go at least to the police at one point. I do find it interesting when people say that someone's and they never go to the police, but she did go to the police around January 22nd, 2025. So about 6 months later, it seems like, she went to the police. John told me he wanted to perform a oral on him. I had recently gotten a breast augmentation and was told by a doctor not to lay on my stomach while I was recovering. I told John that I didn't want to perform oral because of this. While I was sitting up, John pushed me onto his legs, so my back was on his legs, and pushed my head into his. This forced my mouth to make contact with this He would not let go of my head until I complied, so I gave in to his demand until he was finished. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on around January 22nd, 2025. When I first moved in with John in December 2022, he told me that instead of paying rent, I'd have to perform oral on him whenever he wanted. I felt like I had no other option but to comply. Around February or March 2023, I told him I didn't want to live by this agreement anymore and told him I'd pay for his rent instead. However, after this, he found other ways to coerce me into performing oral on him when I didn't want to. For example, he would remind me of items or meals he bought for me and tell me that I owed it to him. If I didn't comply immediately, he repeatedly guilt-tripped me until I complied. Throughout the time I lived with him, John would also record me when he wanted me to perform oral. There were multiple instances where he would record these moments without my consent. There were also at least 2 incidents where during oral, John pushed my head onto his hard without my consent and then caused me to throw up. These incidents happen so often that it becomes difficult for me to remember when each one occurred. After I moved out in July 2024, I made a post on X about my experience as a victim of coercion and did not identify a specific perpetrator. John then threatened to post revenge me if I didn't take down the post. This made me very afraid because I knew he had recorded me in the past. He also had consistently live streamed or posted rants online claiming I am attempting to ruin his public image. On or around January 15th, 2025, John made a post on X saying he would publicly post text conversations, videos, etc. between him and I online. I worked with an attorney to have John served with a cease and desist on or around January 24th, 2025. Despite this, John continued to make posts about me, X, and Twitch. He even posted a live stream on Twitch or on around about February 6th, where he called me a liar and threatened to sue me. I have not heard directly from John since November 22nd, 2024, but his frequent posts online insulting and threatening me have continued to persist to the present day. So basically, she didn't go to the police for about 8 months. She went to the police. She was like, I'm going to go to the police, whatever that means. She went to the police after 8 months, and then Tectone was, and then she made a tweet. Tectone started making threats online, which then she also at the same time around that time was getting a lawyer. So she got a lawyer to deal with this because she realized that this is not going to work. Keep in mind, chat, this is all from the plaintiff. This is not the defendant, which is Tectone. This is from the plaintiff, which is Pink Chip. So this is her claims on what happened. He even posted a live stream on Twitch on around February 6th where he called me a liar and threatened to sue me. I have not heard directly from John since November 22nd, 2024, but his frequent posts online insulting and threatening me have continued to the present day. This includes a comment where he made on a Twitch stream on May 12th, 2025, where he said he would go nuclear when the legal involvement between him and I ends. He accused me of swatting him on around August 16th, 2025, and said the world will know what you've done. Late October, early November. That's when these instances have caused me significant mental and emotional harm, as he has a large following and I receive hateful comments and messages frequently from people who watch his content. Every day, I'm afraid John will act on his threats to post immediate videos or photos of me, and I fear he won't ever stop posting things online about me. John knows where I live, and I'm concerned that if he becomes angry enough, he will show up to my house unannounced, threaten or harm me. For my safety, I want John Robertson ordered to stay away from me. Was the respondent you? Yes. Had the respondent been drinking or using? No. Damn. So this is just the first of hundreds of documents, chat, just letting you know what's going on. She's claiming that he's abusive and that he would grab her and force her to suck his dick. And she had lip filler, and she has proof that she got her lip filler removed, and that was a time that happened. And then 8 months later, she went to the police, which I do feel the correct answer to allegations or in general is going to the police. I am someone that's much more, obviously someone that has been accused of multiple times at this point. I am someone that is very firm, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well, that you need to go to the police, that this is something that should not be aired out to the public, that this is something that you need to go, if it's a serious crime like you need to go to the police. And the problem is a lot of girls don't want to go to the police because it's a he said, she said, they need proof, they need evidence, so they don't want to go. But I think that even just filing a police report really can go pretty far, and these girls don't do that, which always makes me believe that they're lying. Pink Chu, not only did she go to the Travis County and issued a police report, she also went with proof that she got her lip filler removed and that Tectone did this. But this is all just the first part. This is all he said, she said. Who would have anything to do with a loser like Tectone? You know, that's a good question. Like, I don't understand that. Like, forget all this stuff. He's ugly. Like, I just don't understand why Pink or any girl would go after Tectone. Like, he's not a good looking dude. I don't get it. He looks like he's the guy outside of a 7-Eleven near his high school talking about how good his high school was and, you know, hoping that one of his old buddies shows up and shit and, like, sells alcohol to kids. I don't understand how anyone likes Tectone, and then he opens his mouth, and it's the worst part. So basically what this means, chat, is that the judge found that the evidence to prove that Tectone was at least stalking, abusing, or whatever the fuck, or Pink Chu was enough and sufficient evidence that she was granted a protective order up until the court case. And he could not have a gun. He could not talk about her. So he went offline and basically didn't stream for like 9 months. It seems like because the court got pushed back 6 months, he didn't stream for 9 fucking months.